Hello, friends. You're watching Markets Today on Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi, and this is where I give you a wrap up of the day's trade. Well, the stock markets really suffered sharp losses on the last day of this week. It turned out to be a freaky Friday bloodbath, if you will call. 1,000 points gone on the Sensex, and the Nifty too slipped below that 17,350 odd mark. Now, this was a phenomena that was brought in from the Qs across the globe as well. Investors are driven by fears about the global economic growth. There's been an underscoring on the impact of the expected tightening monetary policy path of the major central banks across the world, be it the US Fed, the Bank of England, or our own central bank, which is expected to raise rates yet again. Well, the Nifty ended at 17,327 with a loss of 300 points. Right there, the Sensex slipped not just below that 59,000 mark, but it ended at 58,098, just about 100 points above that 58,000 mark, too. Among the 30 shares of the Sensex, you saw Power Grid falling about 8%, M&M, State Bank of India, Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance, NTPC, HDFC, and is IndusInd Bank among the significant laggards as well. Only Sun Pharma, Tata Steel, and ITC saw some gains coming in. The selling pressure in the market has led to an erosion of over 4.5 lakh crore rupees of investors' wealth. Well, investors are racing to upkeep with the US Fed's interest rate projection. However, Asian markets just limped towards a fourth consecutive weekly loss on Friday. Bonds suffered significant losses as well. We did see that because of the Fed's move, a lot of money that was coming in into the emerging markets is probably now lurking back into the developed places where they're getting higher interest rates for their investments. According to some of the foreign experts, foreign investors, remember, had net bought $819 million worth of Indian equities last week before selling about $150 million worth of stocks in the Indian markets as of Thursday. Today's data will be updated later in the night. Now, for the second day, we did see losses in companies ranging from natural resources, technology, banks. All of them contributed to a sea of red, not just in the European bosses that were seen entering a bear market alongside the Wall Street benchmarks. The Indian markets are also hitting, lows that have not been seen for months right here. Now, if you see, there are other highlights that you should be aware of in today's trading session as well, like the rupee plunged to the lowest ever level versus the dollar. It ended at 80.99, record closing low, but we did see a breach of that $81 mark, 81 to the dollar mark, and 81.26 was the record low that we touched today as far as the rupee is concerned. Talk about the other segments of the markets, like talk about the mid cap index that was down over 750 points. The Nifty Bank slipped over 1,000 points as well. It was an all across sea of red that you actually saw in today's trading session. Of the Nifty 50 stocks, 44 stocks closed with cuts, with stocks down up to 8% as well. Now, apart from this, I told you that Power Grid slipped 8% on a brokerage note with the reports of some recent acquisition. Then M&M Financials slipped about 13% on the RBI order suspending collections via third party. Sriram Transport and Chola Fundalam Finance Investment also fell as well on the RBI order for M&M Finance. We saw four of the Nifty stocks really hitting 52-week lows today, and most of them were from IT sector, including Infosys, HCL, TCS, Wipro at 52-week lows right there. Select pharma names like Divi's, Sun Pharma, they ended higher in a week session today, but financials including India Bulls Housing, Canara Bank, PNB, Federal Bank, and also LIC Housing, all of them were top of the list as far as the mid-cap losers are concerned. Talk about some other stocks like Dr. Lal, Patlabs, Metropolis, Ambuja Cement, UBL. These were the few mid-cap gainers in today's trading session. The market breadth firmly in favor of the bears today. 1 is to 5 advanced decline ratio. And when you talk about the rupee, it hit an intraday low level of 81.26 against the dollar right there. Talk about Manapuram Finance. That has accepted the rights issue proposal of subsidiary Ashirvad Microfinance. So that was also a focus area in today's trading session. But definitely a very, very weak set of day. It was the third consecutive session when the markets closed with losses. Whether the markets will come back, whether the bulls will come back on the street as we start the next week is something that we'll have to wait to find out. How the global markets really end today in terms of the US markets, how the Asian markets open Monday, if there's a bounce back, which has been the case so far this year. Whenever the markets have actually slipped, we have seen a comeback of sorts. There's been a buy on dips kind of a market that we have seen. Most of all, we'll have to keep an eye out on what the global central banks are doing as far as the rates are concerned. Are there any concerning commentaries that we are getting on the growth projections for the US and for the other developed nations as well? And as we approach the end of this month, we will also be looking at commentary from the RBI, and that will decide the course of the markets going forward from here too. With that, I wrap up right here, but do stay tuned on to Business Today TV for a whole lot of news information will be there on your screens from the world of business and stock markets. So don't go anywhere.